The Liberals won't stop with the crazy spending. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. I swear that they just can't help themselves. I swear that they are predisposed to spending our money with wild abandon, and I swear that it's as if they want us to play this clip over and over again until we all get the message. They are entitled.
You're trying to say that entitlements, I'm not entitled to my entitlements.
No,
I am entitled to my entitlements.
Entitled to their entitlements and free rein in spending your money. I brought you the story the other day of the dinner for the Mexican president. $503 a head. Must have been some kind of dinner. And now we've got word of $1,300 meals aboard flights on Trudeau's first couple of journeys overseas. Now, in fairness, one of those was a trip that included a flight to London, then to Malta, then to Paris, then back to Ottawa. So that's not exactly $1,300 a meal. But let me ask you this. What could you do to feed your family for 4 days? Would $1,300 be enough? Could you eat well on that, whether traveling or not? I bet most of us could. I bet most of us could feed our families for a month for $1,300 if we spent wisely. That is an easy answer. Well, for you anyway, but not for them. We already know from previous access to information requests that we've put in that a good chunk of this was booze. Not all of it, but 39 bottles of wine downed on just one flight. It's why we launched the Buy Your Own Booze campaign, and we're going to ask you in a moment to sign on to that again because, well, they just won't stop spending our money. Let's go through some of the details that have come out as the result of an order paper question tabled in the House of Commons on Justin Trudeau's first few flights to spending is crazy. His first flight was to Turkey. There were 55 passengers on board the Prime Minister's Airbus. They spent $72,040.92 on food and drink, a total of $1,309 per person. That was a flight to Turkey and back to Ottawa. The next flight, that was the one that went to London, Malta, and Paris. 62 passengers. They spent $81,383.26, or $1,312 per person. Then there was the flight to Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. Here there were just 50 passengers and $26,890.90, or $537 per person. In this one, it's a small amount, but when you realize how short the flight is, it'll leave you scratching your head. 85 passengers on Trudeau's first trip to Washington, D.C. They spent $3,561.98, or $41 per person, on food and drink. It's an hour and 20-minute flight. I've done it. It's quite lovely flying into Reagan National. But they barely have time to go up and down the aisle with the drink cart and give you a soft drink before moving on to the next person, especially on a busy flight like his. How on earth are you spending $41 per person? Well, the answer is the Trudeaus don't do anything by halves. They live in the light lap of luxury. That's how they like it. From the $503 per person to feed the Mexican president to $1,300 to feed and water themselves and the journalists on the flight to Ankara, Turkey. It is ridiculous, and it's why we've got to call on them to stop it. So we're going to ask you again to sign our petition at buyyourownbooze.com. That's buyyourownbooze.com. Sign it, share it on social media, and spread the word. These folks can't help themselves. We've got to do an intervention. Hope you liked what you just saw. If you did, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's free, and that'll make sure you never miss another Rebel video. Or if you want even more from The Rebel, head over to therebel.media and become a premium member.